Johnny number 5.
Go for that cleavage up front.
Andy, quick.
Smile. Move in.
If any of you are here with somebody you shouldn't be with, the camera and memory card will be for sale immediately following the show. My manager wanted me to look more masculine, so I've decided to start dressing like Ellen DeGeneres. I'm on the road a lot, so I use my cell phone a lot, and I was very confused years ago when AT&T came out with that marketing slogan, more bars and more places, because for years I thought that was the state motto of Wisconsin. I get to go other exotic places, like Scott. I played North Dakota. Learned a very interesting lesson in North Dakota. Never make a North Dakota girl laugh. Makes the tobacco come out her nose. You ever walk into a Legion or a VFW and wonder, how the hell will you ever win a war? They're making a remake of a famous Vietnam War movie. Stars Angelina Jolie and Mick Jagger. It's called Apocalypse Now. You ever wonder if Stevie Wonder broke up with old girlfriends by saying, "I can't see you anymore"? My wife's not as bright as she likes to think she is. She thinks an aphrodisiac is someone who's afraid of black people. I volunteered for a cloning experiment at the U. My wife said, "Don't bother, they won't take you." I said, "How could you say that?" She said, "Look at you, supply already exceeds demand." Actually, my wife and I are participating in a sleep deprivation study. We didn't do it on purpose, we just stupidly promised never to go to bed angry with each other. She irritates me a lot of other ways, too. She's always asking me questions. Questions like, "Why don't you treat me like you did when we were dating, hmm? Why don't you treat me like you did when we were dating?" I said, "Fine, fine, fine." I made reservations for dinner and a show, and I stood her up. Another thing she does that irritates me, she comes up behind me, she rubs my cheek and says, "How's my prickly little porcupine? How's my prickly little porcupine?" She thinks that's hysterical. But if I rub her legs and go, she She hates that joke. She said, how many more years are you going to tell that joke? And I said, we visit her mother 3 times a week. My mother is older than dirt, and my wife always says the same thing. Boy, I hope I look that good when I'm that age. I said, honey, you don't look that good now. All right. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I think of my wife as a trophy wife. Every day I imagine her head mounted over the fireplace. I was raised Catholic. Means I have all the guilt of a Jew, but none of the business sense. I have a Jewish friend started his own online shopping business. Calls it Oybay. Its most popular selling product is a facial hair remover system for Jewish women. It's called Shiksa. Probably tell by looking at me I like my beer. He has beer on his site. One of my favorites now is a little Jewish beer. It's called Hebrew. Hey, don't laugh. They have a low-cal version. Israel Light. We were very poor when I was growing up. My father used to save his belly button lint and tell me it was cotton candy. The only reason I figured it out is I found my mother's hidden stash of pink food coloring. And I got a question for you here. What is this now about with young parents and elementary school teachers? If a child misbehaves, he gets a timeout. Now, when I was growing up, timeout meant the number of accumulated minutes I was unconscious after lipping off to my father. I think I got my taste for beer from my father. Didn't know he drank till I saw him sober one day. I remember him coming home from a prodigious New Year's Eve drinking bout. It was Easter. Hey, you know where Canadian drunks go? They go to hey, hey. My wife thinks I drink too much. She said, why don't you drink more responsibly for the sake of our marriage? I said, I'd do if I was sober, I'd leave you. She wanted me to join AA. I said, that's redundant. If I can take 12 steps, I am sober. Made me go to the doctor with her. I hate doctors. The first thing this guy said to me was, you drink too much beer. I said, how can you say that? He said, it's easy. Between you and your wife, you're the one with the yeast infection.